turning on, breathing's coming in, interactions happening, it all feels good. So we have a little time at the end of today to integrate your experience. So this is a good time to ask questions, comment on anything that seems relevant, talk about how you'd like to integrate this work into what you already practice, or if you have questions about your son or your wife or your mother or your friend or your client, anything like that, we can take some time.
That's what I'd like to understand, some ways to integrate it into my, after doing massage for 25 years, I've got kind of my routine. Mm-hmm. And how do I integrate this and not have to extend it another extra hour of work?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so would you like me to demonstrate that a little bit? Okay. So how about if I use this table and somebody just lies down?
My man Clay.
Wow, the body appeared. Okay, so say, so a lot of times with the massage you have the person start face down and do their back and all that. So say you've already done that in this case and now they're over. And we'll just think that maybe he doesn't have a shirt on if you're doing Swedish, or maybe he does if you're doing some other kind of body work. It doesn't really matter. But after you've done the back work, you might have noticed that there were certain places that were a little tight, like maybe the middle back, upper back, lower back, something like that. So say in this case it's the lower back. So you were working on his hip and his lumbars and you're doing your thing and massaging it out, and it seemed to release and he's happy. And then you're curious about if those areas truly released, and so that would be a time when he turned over, come in and just check in, hold that point, hold this point just like you had. And then you're noticing, oh yeah, it seems like there's more of a pulse now, or maybe there's not a pulse. Let's wait until the points connect and the muscles release a little bit more. So after I just hold a point like that, I might come down and then do this knee point. If it's really tight, like if somebody's having sciatica, or some other situation like that, I would do more points and less Swedish. Because with nerve pain especially, the point work helps to stop inflammation, get that energy back into the channel where it needs to go, and then flow, balance and flow. Whereas sometimes massage can irritate nerve pain, right? So you have to be really careful. So I might first just do a few points like that, and then maybe come in and continue the massage, and however you do it.
Thank you.
Sure.
On that note of nerve pain that you just finished on, this week for some reason I had a couple of clients with pinched nerves, and this work seems like it would lend itself very well to treating it, whereas other modalities don't seem to. What would be your opinion?
Absolutely.
Would you work any differently in that situation?
Probably I would work more specifically with the local area, and then other areas that are involved distally. So sometimes nerve pain is referred, right? In fact, it often is. And so it might be actually the person's having shoulder pain, but it's coming from their neck because there's some compression. So usually when there's nerve pain, there's compression, there's swelling and inflammation that extends into the nerve, that sets the nerve off. Oftentimes working with the muscle alone can relieve the nerve pain. Sometimes a skeletal adjustment is needed as well. Sometimes that skeletal adjustment happens naturally, right? So let's just say in this case, it's in his neck. he's got some compression going on, some nerve pain that's traveling down this right arm. And it's probably the brachial plexus, C5 is the level of the nerve that comes into the arm, right? So what's a good point to use in that local area?
When you're using
Extra.
That extra neck point, yeah. And so then you think, oh, okay, I know a point like that. All right, what do I connect it with? Well, holding the back point is not a bad idea, mostly because it's going to help him relax more. It's going to get that whole erector group to let go and allow that nerve to decompress a little bit. If it's coming into the shoulder, you definitely want to work with the shoulder. Now this is a point that we haven't used in class today. Some of you that have worked with me before have used it already. And it's, I think, I don't know if it's on your page, but it's right in the upper back on the medial edge of the scapula. So it's on the border, again, of the erector group, about level with T4. This is a really good point for that kind of nerve, shoulder-arm relationship. Even though it may not be along the nerve track, it's in an area that is referred up into the neck or down into the shoulder. There's just often a connection there. And so I would hold this point in different ways, and you can, use your intuition and be spontaneous. I might come in and hold it like this from the top, and then the other hand goes out to small intestine 10, that first point of the neck and shoulder release that you learned. Does that make sense? Everyone shaking their head, yeah. And how does that feel, Clay? Yeah, this is a really nice connection here, and release for the upper back. Like I noticed some of you, myself included, probably have some upper back tension. It's a really good point combination for that. Another good one is gallbladder 21 at the top of the track, because that's also right where that nerve tracks through there, right? So I would do that one. Let's see, and you can also use this small intestine point that you know. What other point do you know?
Was that first point you were saying on the medial border of the scapula a small intestine point, or?
No, it's actually called UB43. It's on the bladder meridian, urinary bladder 43. This is a point that we didn't use, but everyone kind of knows that it's Hoku. You've probably heard of that one, right? That's a good point for pain, and it relates up to the neck and shoulders, so you can use that also as a distal point. So I would just group your points around an area like that that's inflamed, and then look at other areas that are related. So in this case, if it's on the neck, his whole back is related, yeah. So you can use any of those back points you learn. And then, a little bit of massage might be okay. I like to use liniments or arnica, things like that help stop the inflammation, decrease the pain too. I find, in fact, I always keep arnica cream in my clinic because, well, as an acupuncturist, it's great because it stops bruises in case that's a problem. But with Shinshin-Do, even after you open the points and the energy is available, a homeopathic cream like that just seems to go right in, and it's just, I don't know, it just seems really effective.